This is U.S. forces boarding one of the Shadow Fleet vessels. And I think the Shadow Fleet is a story that a lot of us don't know about that is extremely important to what's actually happening here in the world. It's basically a fleet of oil tankers owned by Russia and Iran. They operate unmarked, shipping oil around the world. And basically the money from that oil is behind the Russia-Ukraine war, what's happening in Iran, what already happened in Venezuela, the expansion of Chinese military capabilities and the sale of their weapons that they make, likely the end of communist rule in Cuba. You can almost think of this as the Petro-War axis. It is like the lifeblood of what's going on right now. And I honestly think it's an area where Donald Trump and his administration are quietly winning. If you see here recently, the United States and India just got together, and they created this compact catalyzing opportunities for military partnership. Then just a couple days later, India seizes a Shadow Fleet tanker. They've actually seized 3 of them so far. But not long ago, see here in August of 2025, India was buying oil from Russia. Then the Trump administration went in and got Maduro out of Venezuela. And then very quickly, Venezuela approved sweeping oil reforms, Then all of a sudden, India switched from Russian oil to Venezuelan oil, as directed by the United States. Because these tankers here carrying all of this oil, all that money, is what's behind, for example, the Russia-Iran arms agreement, Iran sending billions of dollars worth of missiles to Russia. This clear connection between Russia, China, and Iran when it comes to weaponry. Here you see China surging equipment sales to Russia to help with the war effort in Ukraine, paid for with this oil money. And clearly, if we go after this fleet, we're going after Russia's ability to fight this war. And despite what we've heard in the media about Trump making everybody mad, which maybe he is, it seems like we have a group of allies in this fight. Here is France seizing a Russian Shadow Fleet tanker. Here's Norway. Here's Denmark. Here's Ukraine. Ukraine actually has these sea drones that have been able to attack them. We've seized 9 of them. And this is also all cutting off a supply of cheap oil to China, because it is one of the biggest consumers of this crude oil that's coming from places like Iran and formerly Venezuela. And with Russia's oil revenue plummeting, its war machine is hurting. And as we heard, the Shadow Fleet in Iran can't sell its oil. Iran doesn't have the money that it takes to basically pay people to not protest there. The Shadow Fleet was also sending oil to Cuba to support the communists there. And now we're already talking about what a post-communist Cuba would look like. That'd be a really big deal for the United States and a lot of people here. Now it looks like the European Union and Sweden gonna jump on board with stopping the Shadow Fleet. This story and the Shadow Fleet, this is ground zero for what's happening in geopolitics right now.